sir, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another curing video. Yes, we're curing again. Doc, weren't you working on a bunch of other videos? Why are you curing again? Shut up. I want to cure. Today we're actually going to talk about how the whole curing process works. Unlike the previous videos where I just cured things. Said I was going to talk about how the whole science behind it works, and then didn't do that. This time I am determined. Weren't you trying to increase quality of videos? Shut up.
Hello, future Doc here. So I recorded this footage back in October. It is now March, almost April. It will be April Saturday. It is currently Thursday. I completely forgot that I was supposed to go and do stuff in the lab. I will try and do some sciencey stuff later on, but it's all going to be this voiceover. I don't have a lot of time to do this because I had to edit the podcast. Not to mention that I completely forgot I even had this footage, and so I'm just trying to revive this video and prolong some of the other videos I have in the pipeline that I'm like, you know what, we'll just shove those further down the line. We'll take care of those eventually. Anyways, so yes, we're trying to increase the quality. A curing video doesn't really do that. But with the voiceover and just trying to fix the issues with this video and trying to make it better, I think we can make a better video. Anyways, let's roll the intro and we'll get back to Past Me.
Hey there, YouTubers. Is what it is. Anyways, so we are making Windsor loins. These are cured and smoked pork chops. So I have got 6.1 pounds worth. Yes, that is a lot of pork chops. I bought the 3.3, and then I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I want a lot of cured pork chops. So I went and got more at Walmart today while I was doing things. So you will need pink curing salt. If you want the recipe, I'll try and leave the ratios down in the description. I had to do a lot of math to figure this out today because my scale must have aluminum powder in it, and so it doesn't work at the moment. And so I wasn't able to weigh out the kosher salt, so I had to convert Mormon kosher salt into grams per like teaspoon or whatever, and then convert teaspoons to tablespoons, and then convert tablespoons to cups, so that I could, because it would need like 30 some odd tablespoons for what we're doing today, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to count out 30 tablespoons. So I converted the cups. It was about 2 cups, so we're perfect. 1 cup's 30 tablespoons. I will also leave how much boiling water you will need per pound, because the step is we heat up boiling water. We have the brine solution over here, which is powdered sugar, the kosher salt, your pink nitrate salt, and then pickling spice, which I just do to taste. So I just kind of poured some in and said, good enough, and then sneezed for 2 minutes. Anyway, so what you're going to want to do is, in your big pot, because the big pot's going to have to accommodate the pork, the hot water, the brine particulate, the stuff that's going in the brine, and then the cool water, which is like a gallon plus. So you need a big old pot, which I have thanks to Walmart. So start the water boiling. Once the water has boiled, we pour it over into the big pot. We let it dissolve. We then pour the cool water, which is again description. And then once we do that, we let it cool down to, I think, room temperature, so we'll just shove it outside. It's very cool outside today. Then once it's cooled down, we throw the pork in and we have a good time. And oh my god, there's pork blood running all over my countertop. I'm gonna have to clean that up. We'll be back in the lab talking about this, and then we'll also show you putting the pork in and stuff.
Alright, time to add some science stuff. So when I refer to curing salt, I could be referring to one of three different types: Prague Powder 1, Prague Powder 2, and saltpeter. We are not working with saltpeter. Saltpeter is potassium nitrate. I have worked with potassium nitrate in the past, but that was for gunpowder. And yes, it can be used for curing meats. We're not going to talk about this here. What you could really be using is is powder 1 or powder 2. We're using powder 1. Powder 2 basically decays into sodium nitrate and turns into powder 1 pretty much. So again, we're going to ignore that. And we're just going to focus on powder 1. Powder 1 is pink nitrate curing salt, which is what we're using here today. It contains 6.25% sodium nitrate and 93.75% table salt. So it's mostly salt, and some even include a bit of red food dye. I'm just reading this straight off the wiki here. So, anyways. And, well, for a long time, we used this pink nitrate because we believed it killed botulism. However, in a study in 2018 found that may not be the case, and that there's really no reason to add it other than it's often mixed with a red food dye to get that characteristic pink color we associate Windsor loins, ham, and corned beef with, all of which we have made before on this channel, and you can go watch anytime. So that's the science here. We're just extracting the water out, putting a bunch of salt in, and that's supposed to kill the bacteria. The salt will, because the bacteria needs to have a correct salinity. If we just jam-pack a bunch of salt in there, the bacteria can't grow. The sodium nitrate was also believed to kill it, but as we learn now, it does not. So let's get back to past me trying to make Windsor loins.
Alrighty, thanks to Mother Nature for saving water and energy, we have cooled this pot down to actually relatively ice cold temperatures. So now we can put the meat in for, I have yet to calculate actually how long it needs to be, which reminds me, I should calculate that right now so I can tell you. Well, we'll just let them sit till next week, and I think that should be fine. 12 days seems like a lot. Anyways, I'll let you know how long we actually keep them in there. I need to rewatch what I said in the video. Anyways, when Walmart says variety of pork chops, they aren't kidding. This is a variety. This is a wide variety of cuts. I need a plate. Oh, there's one there. Okay, because you've got kind of wanted something bigger like this, you know, which is fine. And then you've got a more one that you would actually associate with a pork chop. Got the bone here. So I don't know. I don't know why. They're all different cuts of pork, but doesn't matter. We're gonna shove these things in here for who knows how long. This is cool. You gotta take a look at this. It's just a pot full of meat. Oh man, that's kind of neat. Oh, alright, let's get a plate. Let's get a plate, that way they don't float around and here evenly. Cover them up and leave them in the fridge. I'd leave them outside, but A, I don't know what the freezing point of that brine is, and 2, I would rather have them at a more consistent temperature. But I'll be back in however many days the time card says.
Oh boy, we're back again, this time to tell you how long we kept it in there and how long you actually should keep them in there. So I kept them in there for like 3 to 5 days. I really don't remember. Like I said, I forgot I even made this footage. Anyways, and they're way, way, way too salty. And stupid me should have thought, hey, I have a large surface area, right? They're not one piece. They're very thin as well. And I was talking with my dad, who talked with his butcher pal at work, and he said like 12 hours, especially for these thin cuts. And he'll do the whole thing and then cut it up. Of course, I don't have an electric knife, and I also don't have the tools to then cut a whole thing of meat to turn into Windsor loins. But that's what he recommends. So if you're going to do this at home, if you're going to do thin cuts, yeah, 12 hours max is probably what you really need. Thicker cuts, you can probably let them go a bit longer, maybe 16 hours or so. I am not a professional. Consult your butcher before doing anything stupid, especially if you're going to keep these things for a long period of time in the fridge and not freeze them. I froze them, so we're all good. But they were just way too salty, and that could just be because I had to measure the salt out volumetrically instead of via mass. Do everything via mass when it comes to ingredients. It's so much better. But as I alluded to earlier, my scale has aluminum powder. And if you're curious how I got aluminum powder in it, well, here's some footage of why, potentially. Should go. Is it gonna... Ho, ho, ho! Oh yeah, don't look right at it. Oh God.
So I've gone and pulled all the meat out of the brine. And just as a heads up, that is cold. Like, super cold. There's no reason for it to be colder than the fridge, which is not freezing. So this felt way colder. This felt like ice. This felt as cold as ice water. Like, I've stuck my hand in a cooler full of ice, and I don't think it hurt as bad as this. So I'm not sure why the brine. I think I've noticed this with previous experiments I've done. The brine just feels super cold, and I'm not sure what that is. Anyways, we've got like a gallon of meat in here, because I filled up 1 gallon bag. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but for the most part. And then there were still 3 more pork chops that didn't fit, so yeah. Why am I freezing them? Because some of them were close to being expired already, and after sitting several days in brine, I don't want them to sit in the fridge until Saturday. So I will see you guys Saturday to smoke them.
And that is it of Past Me. There is one more piece of footage, and this was just a few days ago I recorded it, so technically not really Past Me anymore. But this is it. I either got busy or forgot. I have no idea, but I never recorded the smoking process. And so if you're wanting tips on how to smoke them, I don't remember what we did. We used my dad's Traeger grill, and they sat on there for a very, very long time, and they kind of went through a stage where they weren't done, they turned rubbery, let them go a bit longer, and then the rubberiness was gone, and they were warm. I think the issue was it was just cold, and the Traeger doesn't like to run when it's cold, especially if we're trying to do something with just smoking. We imparted a ton of smoke flavor to them. They are very smoky, which is nice, except for they're extremely salty. And honestly, they probably could have sat in the fridge for another week, and they would have been fine. But again, consult your butcher before you do anything stupid. So, yes, they sat on the Traeger for like 3 or 4 hours. They sat on there way longer than I planned on it. The whole weekend, if I remember correctly, I was just going to go there, get them smoked, come home. But it dragged out. I helped butcher some sheep. I can't really remember. This was months ago. And like one trip to North Dakota. So who knows? Anyways, the last bit is to obviously taste it. And they were really good the first day. And then after sitting in a freezer for months on end and not preparing them the correct way, well, they're not terrible. They're just really salty. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not sit them in the brine for as long as I did. Okay? Okay. Also, wear a glove. You get fat on your hands, and that's a pain in the butt to wash off. So wear latex gloves. Alright, let's close out the video.
Alright, so I don't know what that was. This is the finished product of curing your own, making your own smoked. Gosh. smoked pork chop. It, how do I put this? There are two ways to reheat this. There's a right way and a wrong way. The right way is to put it in a frying pan with a little bit of water and slowly bring it back up to temperature. No, I shouldn't say cook it, to rewarm it. Then the wrong way is just throw it in the microwave with some water and eat it that way. Tonight, it's very late. I didn't have time, because I was doing a podcast, to reheat it the proper way. So, well, I took a paper towel on that, and it's still a lot of grease. And it's still very salty. Holy crap. I actively feel the water in my mouth just going and disappearing. But it's, honestly, it's not as rubbery as one might assume, but it's definitely not tender. It's kind of a weird color, to be honest. It's not really pink. It has a little bit of pinkness. You can kind of see it. Well, of course, now it's not going to focus on it. We got to do the makeup tutorialist thing. Kind of pink. Kind of. It's kind of a lot of things. How do I recommend doing this in the future? Don't. Not with a thin cut. You gotta do thick cut. Or start off with the whole thing. Get an electric saw. Cut your own pork chops. After, curing and smoking. You can really taste the smoke, though. They did sit on the damn thing for, way longer than we thought they would need to. But we had to take them past the strange rubbery state they were in. But anyways, there you go. This is how you make a smoked pork chop. And this whole project, months later, this is reheated after sitting in a freezer for 4 months. It's now March, so. Anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New videos once a month. Usually is Saturday, but the Saturday was almost an entire week before the end of the month, and I didn't want that to kind of throw off the way things were going, so it's going up on the last day of the month, which is the 31st, which is a Friday. So, great. I don't know what April will be like. That's for you guys to figure out. And, good night.
Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Oh, you're still here? I thought I told you to go home. Oh, you want more? I'm flattered. Check out the playlist. If you want exclusive content, check out my Instagram, Dr_sheep_YouTube. That's all lowercase. If you want to help the earth, subscribe. When I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to plant 10 trees. If you feel that's too small, then check out my channel chart where I lay out even bigger goals. Finally, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me that sweet watch time. Bye.